is it that as we get older, we feel like we have less and less time?
It's a catch-22. Hey, buddy. Buddy. Hey, buddy. Hey, buddy. Buddy. This little guy. Happy little puppy.
What is up, bros, bears, most mommies, and everything in between? As always, this is Full Primal Power, Patrick McGuire, top 50 ranked powerlifter all time. We've got a squat day today. My coach is trying to unalive us with this foreign concept called cardio, and I believe he's trying to do some sort of linear progression in our program to get us squatting 600 pounds by 8 for 3 sets of 8. But today we've got 545, 3 by 8. Last week it was 525. You can kind of see where the trend is coming from. We have our breakfast, which will start our fueling for the day. We've got the bowl. And in the bowl, yes, it is a dog bowl. Don't at me. We've got 3 eggs, 180 grams of 93.7 beef, and some ketchup to make it go down easier. So, why are you complaining, bud? You're spoiled. Let's eat, boys and girl. Buddy walk check-in.
What's up, bud? Buddy, say hi.
He doesn't want to say hi. Okay, we've got our pre-gym snack in the bowl. We've got 211.5 grams of Captain Crunch Crunch Berries. I don't get why they don't make regular Captain Crunch in the big, massive bags, but they make Crunch Berries. I don't get it. And we've also got about 16 ounces of fat-free Fairlife milk. Let's go, girls. If you're big and you know it, drink your protein. I have to poop. So, you know you're starting to get older when you start realizing that you don't have as much time as you thought you did. It's like when you were a kid, it felt like you could do a million different things in a single day, right? It's like you want to do one thing and another thing, you always had time for it. And your parents would make time for whatever you wanted to do to an extent. So it always felt like you had the opportunities that you wanted to do the things that you wanted to. Like when I was younger, I started getting into speed running because I liked watching speed runs and I wanted to be included and be a part of it, right? Now that I'm older, I still like watching speed runs, but I don't watch any anymore. I don't really have time to watch speed runs anymore. And I for sure do not have enough time to actually participate in speed running anymore. I used to speed run Pokemon Yellow and Sonic Adventure 2 Battle for the Nintendo GameCube. So, my nephews are here right now, so these videos are going to be a little bit different structured than they usually are, allegedly. Oh, someone got shot. Cool. And my nephew he was like, do you play chess? I was like, I have played chess. I've actually been reading a book where the main character, a book series where the main character is very chess oriented, the Wandering Inn, where the main character really loves chess, and it's a major character trait, and it's kind of cool watching how chess is influencing her decision making. And my dad he collects chessboards, so I've always been surrounded by chess, but I haven't always had the opportunity to play chess. But when I was a kid, I thought I was good at chess. I joined the chess club. I was not good at chess. So I went to one chess club meeting, got bopped by everyone, and got discouraged, and then didn't do chess anymore. But now that I'm older and I have patience, and the way that I think is different than it was when I was a kid, I'm like, how difficult would it be for me to get a better grasp on chess? I don't want to be a grandmaster, but I want to be better at chess. And knowing me, I would eventually be like, how hard would it be to be a grandmaster at chess? Because whatever I do, I'm always competitive in what I do, which is, I don't know if that's a red or a green flag, but I don't really do anything that I don't end up becoming competitive with, for reference. So I noticed, I was like, okay, that'd be cool, but I have these other projects that I'm trying to get better at doing. One of those projects is writing a fiction book, which I still need a title for, and a book cover. It's a progression fantasy novel that I have about 36, 37 chapters written. So it's about 70,000 words long, which would be a great short fantasy novel. But I thought that losing my job, being unemployed, would give me more free time, but knowing me, I am on that grind constantly because the bills don't pay themselves. So I'm doing a lot of other things in order to try and make ends meet. So I don't have time to sit around and do nothing. I don't have time to sit around and actually achieve the goals that I want to do, which is a little annoying, because I was like, I thought I'd have more free time, but I don't. So I need to, I did some journaling a couple, I think it was last week or a couple days ago, and I was trying to figure out how to structure my time. And I have a lot of goals, and adding another goal like learning chess or getting better at chess would be not really super feasible. I could play a game of chess with my dad every day, maybe. I don't know if he has enough time for that. But it reminds me of that excuse that everyone has, that they can't go to the gym because they don't have enough time. And it's funny, I don't have enough time to watch TV, which is kind of the opposite of what goes on. But it's just a little disheartening, because so it takes about 2,000 hours of practice to master a skill, and that comes from David Coyle's, I think it was Talent Code. Yeah, Talent Code by Daniel Coyle, where he discusses the biological factors of mastering and muscle memory, which is based on myelium and the insulation on nerves that develop when you practice certain motor patterns, motor movements, things like that, which kind of broadens your horizon. It's a pretty good book. I would suggest you guys read it. I want to read more. I don't have enough time to read more. I want to write more. I don't have enough time to write more. It seems like everything that I want to do is getting gate-kept by time. And I think maturing is realizing that you need to prioritize certain things and be really good at a handful of things instead of being a jack of all trades. Because there's my grandfather, who I never met, but my dad quotes constantly, says you've got shit in one hand, want in the other. Which one piles up faster? And it's kind of obvious that when you're younger, what you want piles up faster, but as you grow older, you realize most of it's shit. And so you got to really prioritize and kind of think a little bit more critically as to what you want to achieve. One of my hobbies is knitting. Do I want to be a full-time knitter who knits projects or crochets stuffed animals? That'd be really cool. I want to learn how to crochet stuffed animals. Do I have the time? No. Is that something that's going to be impactful for me if I do or do not learn it? No. So it's going to get pushed to the bottom of the pile. And I got to do more journaling to kind of knead with a K, and mold what I want to do in the development of myself as a maturing adult, where I'm recognizing my opportunities and limitations as to what I want to do. So obviously powerlifting, obviously growing this YouTube channel, which takes more time than you would think. Everyone thinks that growing a YouTube channel is easy. And I actually wrote an essay at a job interview at a school, a private school in Las Vegas, where they send, or like a lot of NFL players and professional athletes live in Las Vegas in the off season. So they have houses, and that's where their families live while they're in the season, and they send their kids to these private schools. And it was a little disheartening because they were like, do you want to cater your lesson plans to every individual child so that the majority of them will be successful? I was like, yes. And they were like, wrong answer. I was like, what? They're like, understand that tutoring and additional work, help with additional work, is a product that we advertise and sell towards our own students. So we want you to only aim for the top 1% of our students. If our students are struggling, that means they are not trying hard enough and they can get held back, and that's completely okay. That means they're in our system for longer and we get more profits. And I was like, oh, that's not what I learned in school when I was studying to be a math teacher. That's the difference between private and public schools, I guess. But I wrote, they were like, what's the problem with education in America right now? Because test scores are lowering. I'm like, the value of education is lowering because everyone thinks, you see everyone and their brother and their cousin has a mixtape, and they all say it's fire, but it's 90% of that music is trash. It takes more than just creating a mixtape. It takes more than just working for a week on a sound beat to develop music that people are going to want to listen to. It takes longer than just recording a video, splicing it together, and hoping and clicking upload to create content that people want to watch. I'm still trying to figure out what type of content people want to watch. Do you guys want to hear me kind of synthesize my own thoughts on my struggles? Is that something you guys care about? I don't know, but I'm trying. And it's that whole saying that a champion tries and fails more often than they win, and it's really disheartening when you don't get feedback and you're struggling. But it's that willingness to stand back up after you've failed countless times that grows and develops an individual into a successful person. And it's my struggle with time is another opportunity where I have been failing recently because I'm trying to do too much with my time, and I've got to really sit back and be like, well, what exactly are my priorities? Powerlifting 100% is my be-all, end-all priority. I want to be the very best like no one ever was. That's the moment I had joined the dark side, I said, if I'm going to do this, I'm going to go all in. No person, no circumstance, no job, no anything is going to keep me from trying to achieve my goals. So, I mean, my parents are trying to plan activities for my nephews this morning, or last night for today, and them being like, oh, Patrick, can you just skip the gym today? And I'll be like, ha, no, absolutely not. Do my goals skip their days? Do my competitions skip their days? My competition literally skips like every other day, which is, I mean, super heavies. Am I right? But powerlifting, coaching, YouTube, writing, I think those have to be all of my priority. Because I also have that audiobook narration. And I feel like I'm going to have to split my time between audiobook narration and writing. But that 2,000 hours of time, if you think about it, if you work 40 hours a week, 8 hours a day, 5 days a week, that is 50 weeks. That is a full year where you have to master the skills of one thing. I'm 52. Is that? because 5 would be 200. Yeah, 50 weeks. That's 2,000. Math is a skill set. It's not something you learn. It's something you have to practice. That's why math homework is never busy work, but it always feels like busy work because it's something you have to practice. But once you practice it enough, it always makes sense. So slap your kids around a little more and tell them to do their damn math homework because it's important. It's practice. So I lost my train of thought. It's time to squat. I've got a 3x8, 545, and I've already pooped twice today. So let's go and poop like 2 more times. And let's get this bread, boys. Boys, first of all, I'm going to apologize in advance for the audio quality. It is hotter than 2 rats fucking in a wool sock today. And my car is black. So you best believe I'm sweating like a whore in church. So you're gonna get a little bit of a wind ambiance going on here. But boys, we went in here today, this squat day, at 341 pounds. Fatty McFatterson, as 90% of people who would watch this video but don't understand the effort that goes into actually being 341 pounds on purpose would think. But we it's hot. It's the hottest day of the year so far. We are on heat advisories right now. So got the I drank a gallon of water while training, and best believe I'm moist. Yeah, I ran out of analogies. But we went in here 3x8, 545. We were a little nervous. I was like, I don't know if I'm prepared enough for this. I took a long walk with Buddy this morning, and I had to change shirts because I was so moist. I sweat through one shirt today already, and I was like, I really hope I'm not overly dehydrated. But we made through. We made good on the plan, the training plan today, and I'm proud. We did set 1 was probably the hardest set of them all. So when I warmed up, I did the bar for 10, 1 plate for 8, and I have a bit of OCD going on, and I can't have my warm-up sets have less reps than my working sets because I feel like I'm gonna get smacked in the face. I gotta size up the butt plugs before I go for the dragon dildo, you know, before we get the belly bulgers going. But so 1 plate for set of 8, 2 plates set of 8, 3 plates set of 8. Put on the knee sleeves and the belt unlatched for 4 plates set of 8. And then I was like, 5 plates is 515 since we're using a 55-pound bar, a Texas squat bar, which is as close as we've got to a Kabuki squat bar, which is going to be on the platform on the American Pro 3, and it's been on the platform the past couple years. It's the worst bar on the market, but Kabuki keeps sending these bars and claiming that they're the best bar on the market, but they're the freest bar on the market for meat directors of these big meets, so they keep putting them on the platform, and I hate it. And every year they're like, oh my gosh, we're doing a giveaway, let's give these bars away, because no one wants it. No one wants that bar, and the only people who want that bar are people who are going to be collecting bars because, hey, it was used at the American Pro 3. Hunter Henderson squatted 675 on this bar. John Hack squatted 815 on this bar. You know, that kind of deal going on there. So, first set, hardest set. It kind of smacked me in the face a little bit because I took a little, I took a little while going up to 4 plates, and then I didn't take that much time going up to 5 plates, and I was trying to keep rest time as minimal as possible. So like between 4 and 8 minutes is a good time for me personally for rest time on these high cardio sets. And there was no rest period programmed, but I know my coach wants me to go as fast as possible. Him not putting a rest period is the equivalent of him putting an RPE without being gay. So let's just let that simmer. Let's let that float in the bowl for a minute. And so set two, well, set one, I pooped a little and I had to go and wipe, and that was the 8-minute rest period that I'm talking about. And I am very wet. I'm a very sweaty boy right now. So I'm wiping, and I'm holding the toilet paper because I like to hold it. It gives me comfort and support. And I'm wiping, and I dispose of the tissue, and half the tissue is stuck to my hand because it dissolved onto my hand. So I've got like, you know, when you're eating a girl out and she went pee-pees and she wiped, and there's like little wispies of toilet paper left, and you're just like, I don't want to do this anymore because I'm gagging on the reminder as to what goes on here. Yeah, I had that going on, but my entire hand, and I couldn't get the wispies off until I washed my hands afterwards with soap and water. Soap and water, very important. You want to be hygienic. You boys want to have the longest career possible. Keep your immune system up, because your body can't tell the difference between mental, physical, and emotional stress, and sickness is a physical stressor. So if you get sick, you're not going to lift as well. But that also being said, every time you lift super heavy and you're peaking for a meet, you're going to get sick. So set two moved like a charm. It felt good. It wasn't hard at all. Every rep looked phenomenal. Every rep felt phenomenal. Set two, 4 minutes later, or set three, 4 minutes later, sorry. Counting is hard right now. We set up. It's a good set. It's another good set. I was gonna try and be a storyteller for a minute there, but it was another good set. And oh goodness, it felt wicked easy. The contralateral split squats afterwards, during the accessories, those sucked. My legs did not want to cooperate doing those whatsoever. My knees were like, I don't want to move this way, and like things were tight, things were and they just were like, no, we're not gonna move like a human being actually is operating us. The and then afterwards, the whatchamacallit, the weighted sit-ups, those were harder. We only had a 10-pound plate in addition to ourselves, but those were more difficult because it was just so hot. My shirt was drenched. I wore a gray shirt in, I wore a dark gray shirt out. That's how wet I was. But we made it, we survived, and we're home, and I got a shower. I'm gonna take a cold shower, not because there were any hot girls at the gym, which there were, but because I'm very wet, and not wet, but like, you know how you feel when you just got that layer of sweat on you? Yeah, I'm gonna go wash that off with some nice cold water, get that parasympathetic nervous system firing by getting some cold water on my face and all the capillaries, cool the body temperature down so it thinks. But anyways, I'll see you guys back with some food, hopefully. We've got the bowl. We've got 220 grams of 93.7 beef, 400 grams of white rice, Calrose white rice, some Himalayan pink salt to tie everything together, and 70 grams of guacamole. I did have a meal previous to this. It was 120 grams of protein from whey, and because I wasn't going to have enough time to prep my meal because the family was going out to the movies, and we watched Inside Out 2, and my nephews, after the movie, they were like, what emotions are gonna come in Inside Out 3? And my brother and I just bit our tongues like, she'll be 18, she'll learn about desperation, addiction, and lust. So I'm gonna eat this meal, and yeah, that's it. So I'm separate from them because, oh, that's still zoomed in. This asshole does not like children. He is very reactive to fast movements. So if they approach him, nice, slow, and gentle, he he's a cuddle bug and he loves them. But if they jerk, he goes. So his prey drive is pretty strong, and I need to figure out how to work that out of him, because he's it's been an issue for him for a while, and I need to work that out of him. I don't know how to. I've tried redirecting it, I've tried suppressing it, and as long as I'm staying consistent with everything for a long period, and none of the methods I've used have worked, and I've got to figure it out, because with adults he's fine. With children, yeah, as long as they're calm, collected, and whatnot. He's breaking my heart, because he's just I wish it's his first experience with children too, so it's I don't know.